Welcome to Generation Digital Workforce, the podcast that's here to explore the role of robotic process automation and other digital technologies. Whether you're just getting started or you're looking for advanced strategies and tactics, if you're curious about where human and digital workers are coming together to transform the future of work, then this podcast is for you. All right, let's get into the show.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Generation Digital Workforce Podcast. I'm Brad Hairston with Blue Prism, and today my guest will be Fabrice Roche, an associate partner with the global advisory firm SIA Partners, and Duff Glaser from Blue Prism. I will be talking with Fabrice and Duff about digital transformation in the life sciences industry. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So let's start with some introductions. Fabrice, why don't you begin?
Yeah, thank you, Brad, for having me. I'm Fabrice Roche, and I've been in management consulting for almost 25 years, supporting organizations with their large and complex digital and business transformations across multiple industries. For the past 15 years, I've been consulting for life sciences companies, from drug development to medical products, to manufacturing to consumer healthcare. I recently joined SIA Partners as an associate partner in their New York office. Our focus at SIA Partners has been to deliver superior value and tangible results to our clients as they navigate the digital revolution. More specifically, in the life sciences sector, we provide services around transformation and change, innovation and growth, and of course, digital transformation and data science.
Excellent. So, Duff, why don't you give your introduction as well?
Sure. This is Duff Glaser. I am new to Blue Prism. I came from SAP, the Enterprise Resource Planning company, and I think it's fantastic that I've had this opportunity to join Blue Prism as I bring about 35 years of healthcare and life science to the plate. My job is essentially to look at the life science businesses from an enterprise perspective. Being 35 years in the industry, I have worked both in R&D, I've worked in the front office as well as the back office, and my job is to primarily help businesses, along with our partners such as SIA, really develop great value propositions around driving efficiencies and sustainability in the life science industry. So I look forward to providing that to you today. Thank you.
Excellent. So Fabrice, let's start with you. In terms of business transformation in life sciences, what are some unique aspects of this industry that have to be factored into any solution or new technology brought into their environment?
Yeah, Brad, we've seen a lot of changes in life sciences over the past few years, if not months. And when you look at this sector, as opposed to others, and especially true when you want to bring a new solution or technology in their environment, you have to take into consideration several key aspects. And those are innovation, regulatory compliance, data privacy and security, auditability and traceability, and lastly, consumer engagement. So when we look at innovation, when you think about life sciences, you always think about innovation and the increased pace and complexity of solutions or products being developed by a myriad of players in the space. And for example, we have innovation recently like personalized medicine through advancements in genetics or incorporation of genetics in treatment or even value-based pricing of products. When it comes to regulatory compliance, obviously regulations have always been a significant part of the industry. But what's different now is the accelerated pace and the complexity of the compliance burden as companies focus on new classes of drugs that fulfill unmet patient needs. Data privacy and cyber security, let's talk about that for a second. From startups to multinationals, the value of data continues to grow for pharma, biotechs, or device companies. Data sharing relationships are increasingly under scrutiny these days, and life science companies engage in data sharing in one form or another. And for example, if you look at what's going on in the US with the CCPA or California Consumer Private Act, I mean, it certainly restricts the types of data transfers in which companies can engage, imposes additional notice obligations, and it grants individuals broad rights to their data. And that applies, obviously, to life sciences organizations with their patient or customer data. Auditability and traceability. I mean, if you look at life sciences organizations, obviously, safety and quality control are their key priorities. And that makes the ability to trace a product, a device, or medicine through the course of its supply chain from beginning to end even more critical. And lastly, customer engagement. For life sciences organizations, customer expectations are higher than ever. And actually, COVID-19 has disrupted customer engagement models in life sciences. So, for example, the traditional face-to-face engagement models, or the interaction between patients, physicians, payers, and manufacturers have been rolled out. And life sciences organizations really have to find new ways of engaging with patients and customers.
Very interesting. Thank you for that, Fabrice. So, Duff, McKinsey conducted a global AI survey at the end of last year, and it indicated that while almost half of all life sciences companies are using AI, only about 20% of them are using robotic process automation. So why such a low percentage?
Well, that's a great question. I think we've seen a couple of things recently. And that is that a lot of life science companies are enamored with the idea of robotic process automation or intelligent automation. And they automatically move towards what I would define as the lowest hanging fruit. And that's the back office financial services capabilities of automation, helping them in a quote unquote check the box manual process. And also they have started to migrate more to using automation around adverse effect tracking and reporting. So they've really focused on what I would call the remedial or the easier tasks to automate. And conversations of late have shown that they're moving past that. So whereas McKinsey showed in 2019 that only 20% were really embracing some form of RPA, what we're seeing now in 2020 and the advent of the COVID experience is that automation is becoming a bigger player, and they're doing more process mining, which means they're looking at for more automations. And I think we'll see that number increase. Secondly, I also believe that you're going to see more of a connect the dots type of process going on in life science companies, where they're going to start connecting the front office to the back office of their enterprise. And I say that as our conversations have shown over the past 6 to 9 months that life science companies are becoming more enterprise in vision of what they need to do. And automation is becoming a boardroom discussion more so than it was a year or 2 years ago. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, very, very much so. So for those that have begun their intelligent automation journey, what are some good examples of automation that you have seen, in life sciences?
Well, I think if I pick two, I would pick what's going on in the research and development area of life sciences right now. And that's the front end of the supply chain. I think we're seeing a reimagination or a supply chain 2.0 starting to occur. And that is where we start looking at the front end of R&D, of new drug discoveries, all the way through the distribution. And I think some of the data that backs that up is that we're looking at a market for drug discovery that's expected to grow from anywhere from about 159 million to about 2.9 billion by 2025. And that's about a 52% CAGR rate. So I think there's some great things. Also trending is the number of artificial intelligence startups that are occurring. And we're seeing a lot more AI, machine learning, and automation, that intelligent platform, developing digital strategies and digital pathways. And that's really where SIA and Blue Prism, bring value to the enterprise, is that we see what this four-legged stool looks like, and we understand how it can create great value for life science businesses.
Okay. Fabrice, what about from the advisory perspective? I mean, where do you see the biggest opportunities for intelligent automation across the life sciences companies that SIA is working with?
Yeah, at SIA Partners, we've seen exceptional growth of automation programs across the leading life sciences companies for all sizes of organizations, especially since the beginning of the pandemic, and for obvious reasons. The promises of increased compliance, the faster speed to market, shorter innovation life cycles, as well as higher efficiencies, improved customer experience, certainly has been fueling this growth. And similar to what Duff was just saying, where we're seeing the biggest opportunities for intelligent automation across the life sciences companies we're working with, it's really across all segments, and starts with drug discovery and R&D, sales and marketing, but also manufacturing and supply chain and distribution. And we have plenty of use cases for each of those segments. But the ones that really come to mind are, for example, in drug and products discovery and research, where intelligent automation can really assist DNA, RNA, genomic sequencing and identification of biomarkers. But also in drug and product development, it can help with patient selection and recruitment. In sales and marketing, sales forecasting and customer behavior analysis are really some of the key use cases. And also, as we work with a few CDMOs in life sciences, on the manufacturing front, intelligent automation can provide continuous plant surveillance and enhance quality control processes. So, really intelligent automation can support inventory optimization and really lead to predictive device maintenance in the supply chain and distribution area.
Excellent. Thank you. So, Duff, when you talk to life sciences companies about the digital workforce, value proposition, how do you position it? I mean, can you talk about your approach?
I think probably the primary area that we talk to our life science customers about is a enterprise solution that we call Lab to Life. And I think it builds exactly off of what Fabrice was just talking about. So we look at Lab to Life as part of our supply chain. And what Blue Prism has done is it's defined about 5 pillars in this enterprise process, moving from research development through manufacturing into drug trials, into logistics, and then into distribution. And what we've found to be valuable across the industry is that under each of those 5 pillars, we've identified anywhere from 5 to 8 automations. If you look at drug trials, we look at data management from internal clinical trials, we look at scheduling management, we look at collection of reconciliation of study data, etc. And what we are doing is we're helping the life science businesses look at what has traditionally been a fairly rigid supply chain and making it more agile, and really trying to define how it can scale, how it can be sustainable, but most importantly, how it can be agile and transparent. What we identified during this COVID time period in our lives is that a lot of supply chains were very rigid. They were manufactured to save money and to reduce the number of vendors and reduce the complexity in which organizations would be able to acquire resources to manufacture and then distribute. The problem with that is if something broke down inside of your supply chain, you could not pivot quickly or easily. And what we saw during this time period of COVID was that a lot of aspects of the supply chain were broken down because of its global expanse, the risks that was being incurred because of COVID, etc. And what we've been able to do is provide life science businesses with an enterprise solution that will position itself to them so they can pivot when need to be and adapt when need to be also. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, definitely. Fabrice, we are in the age of COVID-19. Life sciences is clearly front and center. So how has the pandemic affected companies in this vertical?
Yeah, I mean, like many organizations in other industries, what we've seen is that life science companies have been through the various phases of the pandemic, right? So from compassion and empathy during the initial stage, and exponential growth of the pandemic to reassurance, during the acceptance phase, to control, and ultimately being proactive during the containment phase. However, life sciences organizations who've been at the forefront of the crisis had to move very, very quickly throughout all those phases, supplying and rapidly scaling up life-critical medical products to support patients, while also attracting widespread attention as the industry races to develop new therapeutics and vaccines for COVID-19. In addition, significant investments pouring in from governments help accelerate innovation and bringing new products to the market. But ultimately, life sciences companies had to overcome some significant challenges due to COVID. Starts with increased competition as part of the race to the vaccine or treatment for COVID, and even for other related products. Actually, we have one client who just launched a new product line with a newly FDA-approved hand sanitizer. So it's definitely a lot of great innovation as part of this COVID situation. But also, life science companies have experienced some supply chain issues from manufacturing scale up to distribution challenges. They had to deal with changing priorities. Elective surgeries have been put on hold. Business continuity planning efforts have been taking precedence, and as a consequence, there's been other vaccines and treatments from those life science organizations being postponed. And lastly, I would mention disruption to trials. Right, the clinical and product development engine has experienced some profound disruption as adjustments to remote work environments and lab capacity has been reduced. So clinical trials have also been severely affected with disruptions in both new enrollment and keeping existing patients or therapies. But that's what I've been seeing really over the past few months.
Okay. So Duff, Blue Prism, as you know, has been very active with its COVID-19 response program, which has provided digital workers to companies to address issues specific to the pandemic. Mm-hmm. Is there an example in life sciences that you can talk about?
I don't think you could have asked a more timely question. As we sit down for our Thanksgiving suppers and we listen to the news and all of the talk of the new vaccines that are being pre-approved, or we're starting to get fantastic results and becoming much more hopeful, the distribution of vaccines is a solution that we are working on diligently right now and working with the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world on doing. We're assisting with ordering distribution on the National Pandemic Preparedness and Response Plan, primarily to first responders, elderly, etc. Our digital workers are using predetermined predictive analytics to serve set populations, etc. We're signing up using digital registration processes for people to receive vaccinations with easy tickets via mobile devices, mobile triage, digital workers, register for vaccination, instructions, etc. We're tracking the vaccinations received, dispensed, and reported, controlling metrics on batches and vials received, making sure that they're staying inside of their temperature-controlled areas, as we all understand the ramifications if they get warm, etc. We're working to track and ensure equitable distribution across the states and how they need it. And I can go on and on and on. But that's a great example of today, real world, real time, where digital workers, Blue Prism workers, are working with the states and working with the life science companies in distributing, the vaccinations that are going to make us safer and bring us back to a more normal way of life.
Wow, that is very exciting and a very timely example, as you said. So, Fabrice, for a life sciences company that has not really made much progress in their digital transformation journey, what would SIA Partners, as an advisory company, recommend to them?
Yeah, Brad, first of all, I think it's important to remind ourselves that, like any business or digital transformations, intelligent automation is an ongoing journey, and that it really requires all the attention and the right approach. But typically, what we would recommend, those life sciences companies, is to follow our methodology and how we engage, and that's typically how we engage with them. And that means we start with process identification, and SIA Partners business consultants can help those organizations assess the automation potential of their processes through ideation workshops and business case analysis. Our expertise in package tools like the criteria analysis matrix or the heat maps, for example, will allow to single out the right candidates for automation. And then, second, we would focus on a roadmap definition. So automation candidates need to be prioritized, and a detailed planification is preferable in order for the organization to progressively implement intelligent automation. So we can assist those organizations in creating a process automation roadmap, as well as in defining a long-term strategy for their intelligent automation capability. And third, we would advise on the implementation of a center of excellence. So as the enterprise matures in its intelligent automation journey, a center of excellence will help build and maintain the best practice, the vision, and the strategy with those key stakeholders. SIA Partners' experience in this domain will allow to provide those organizations with a COE guiding principles, to define a target operating model, and to obtain stakeholders' endorsement. And last but not least, we recommend to pay particular attention to change management, and that includes planning and communication. As one of the key components of a successful implementation, change management must be anticipated from the get-go and at every stage of the journey. So through a combined effort of our intelligent automation and HR practices, we can provide assistance on change management, planification, communication, skills, and competencies management. So in the end, we think that those four focus areas of process identification, roadmap definition, COE implementation, and change management are what makes really the intelligent automation journey successful. And that's really what life sciences organizations should consider right away.
That's great. Thank you, Fabrice. So, Duff, let me give you the last word. What is one thing you would like every life sciences executive to know?
If I were to think of one thing, I would probably say is the time is now. We have such a great opportunity to transform and innovate during this period of COVID that we together, both the customer, Blue Prism, and our partners like SIA, can bring to bear transformation. We can innovate. We can bring the intelligent automation platform to life, which will provide you with a digital journey that will create sustainability, transparency, and efficiencies across your enterprise. And that is what is going to be good for the consumer and your business. So I would say the time is now.
The time is now. Well said, my friend. So Fabrice and Duff, I want to just say thank you to both of you for your time and your insights today. I've really enjoyed the dialogue, and I wish you both well. Goodbye for now.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you, Brad.
You've been listening to Generation Digital Workforce. If you want to hear more about RPA, AI, and other cognitive technologies that are shaping the future of work, join us next time as we continue to go deeper on these topics with industry innovators and experts. To make sure you never miss a future episode, subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast player. And if you've liked what you heard today, please leave us a review. It's one of the best ways to help more people find valuable content. For show notes and more info, visit us at blueprism.com/podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.